Hello, this is Mihai, and in this video we're going to do a very interesting use case proposed by one of our Discord users called Zamacron. Thank you, Zamacron, for proposing this use case and also for proposing an implementation for this use case. Now, the use case is how do you import an Excel file and with products, and for every row of this Excel to generate a PDF page with the information of that particular product, such as this one. Now let's see how do you actually implement this use case in PROCESIO. The first thing that you should do is to actually create a process. Now let's give this process a relevant name. Let's call it import Excel products to PDF. The first thing that we should do is actually to build the process from one side to the other in full, and then we will configure that. This is the way I like to build my processes, so let's get building. The first thing is we will read the file using the getFileData action. After that, we're going to iterate through every row of this file using the forEach action. And for every row of this in the Excel file, we are going to generate the PDF based on a template that we are going to create. And now, because we have to add this page, right? So we would generate a page like this one for every line of the Excel file, and we are going to add it to another file, right? So we're going to concatenate pages within a bigger PDF. So for that reason, we will have to take a decision to either fill in the first page, or if it is not the first page, to merge the generated document at this iteration with the bigger PDF file. Hope that makes sense to you. And let's see how this works. So we're going to take a decision, and we're going to, if it is the first page that we're going to generate, we're going to use the map_process_data action. Otherwise, we are going to use from the PDF folder the merge PDF files action. And let's see how this looks like. And we're going to use the default node for this. Okay, cool. And stop. This should be the process. And now let's start configuring. The getFileData action, we're going to map the process to an input variable of type file, basically the import file, Excel file of type file. We're marking it as input. And we're going to read the file in this variable. Now this variable should be of type data model, and for that reason we're going to create a data model that is going to hold the information from this Excel file. And for this reason we're going to create a data model with the columns from the Excel file. Let's do the data model. Let's create the data model, and we're going to call it product. Create, and let's add attributes to this product. The first attribute is title. It's of type string. The next attribute will be price of type string. The next attribute is going to be description of type string, and the last one is going to be the image URL of type as well string. Cool. Now we have the data model created with all the elements. As you can see here are all the elements that you find in the columns from the Excel file. Cool. Now we can create a variable called products of type product, basically the data model that we just created, to hold the data of the from the file. Now let's map everything and let's see how we do this. So title, column name title is going to be stored on the title attribute. Price is going to be stored on the price attribute. Description is going to be stored on the description attribute, and image URL is going to be stored on the image URL. And this is it. So this is the action. Now we are going to iterate. So we have this variable called products, which is a list of product, and we're going to iterate through this list. And for each of the product, with a timeout of 0, we do not want it to timeout, we are going to generate a document based on a template. We do not have this template, so let's go and create this template. For this, we're going to save the process. We're not going to validate it because you can try to validate it, but we will have a lot of errors because the process is not finished. Now let's go and create the document template, and you go to Document Designer, create a template. Let's give it a name, products from Excel. We're going to add a variable and we are going to call it product, again of type product, create variable. And now let's add the variables. Just keep in mind it will be simple, such as this. All will be centered, and we'll do some basic formatting. So we will have the price, we will have the title, we will have the image URL, and then the price, and then the description. Let's add some spaces between them to format them like this. Then we're going to select all, center. We have the title. As you can see, you select everything. Is not quite visible here, but it is selected, and we're going to make it as bold. Then we're going to select the price. We're going to make it bold, and we're going to color it with red, and that's about it. Save the document, and this is the document template for generating this basic page. Now let's go back. Now let's go back to the process and continue building this. We left off at generating the document, and here we're going to select the template, the document template, mark it as PDF. We're going to give it a name, simple name like P from product. It doesn't matter at this point. The document output will be generated in a temporary variable, TMP PDF, let's call it like this, of type file. And let's map the product description to the product description, and we're going to map the price to the price, and we're going to map the title to the title, and then map the image field with an image tag. To do that, we're going to click inside the field, press the escape key, and write the following code. As you can see, it's basically an image HTML tag, inside of which I'm going to press the key combination Ctrl+I. You will find basically the key commands that I mentioned are here at the bottom left of this window, and at every control that allows this. And I'm going to choose the image URL. Basically, I'm going to send to the document template not just the image path, but an image tag, right, for the image. And that's it. With this action, we have finished configuring it. Everything is done. Now let's focus on the decisional. So as I mentioned, On the first case, I will be basically going if the image, the file, the end file is empty. Now I haven't defined the end file, basically the output file where we have all the concatenated products, every page with every product. Now let's define this variable. I'm going to define it out file of type file, and this is output, and in case this is empty, it's going to go to my process data if file is empty. Good, go to my process data, and in this case what we're going to do is output file is going to be mapped with the value of temporary PDF, which is the one generated by the generated document action. And so basically the first iteration, the output file is going to be empty because it doesn't have any value, and we're going to write in the file, in the output file, we're going to write the temporary PDF that comes out of the generate document. And after the first iteration, so starting with the second iteration, is going to go on the default branch because the file is not empty anymore. And what we're going to do is to concatenate the output file with the temporary file and output that in the output file. So basically, for every iteration, we are going to add another file, another page to the output file. So let's see what happens. Everything is good. Let's run the process. We're going to choose the file, the Excel file that we've worked on. Let's run the process and check what has been happening within the instance. Good. Let's see the output file. Let's download it. And the very interesting thing that we are noticing is the fact that the file has a very weird name. The reason for it is that once you concatenate, it's also going to concatenate the names of the file. So we will get back to that in a second. So let's see what happened here. We have here the product, the product. So everything is fine, except apparently we do not have the formatting as we expected. We're going to go back to this. And so two problems we need to solve: the formatting and the name of the file. Let's go back to editing and fix the name of the file. And to do that, we're going to add another action, map process data, in order to rename the file name with the name that we desire. And let's do that output file name equals products.pdf. Done. This is done, and let's go back to the document designer and correct the formatting. And what I'm going to do is add like this. Let's see what happened. Okay, so I'm going to use the scripting mode to change this because something is not working for me today. 1 second. So I will select this. Okay. Okay, so the problem is this one. I should move those tags after the button. Okay, so after the button ends, I should move those tags right about here. Cool. So now should be all right. Let's save it. Let's get back, run the process one more time, make sure that everything is right. And this use case should be done with this final trick. Let's see if everything is all right. And it is. Cool. This is the use case. Here it is, how you can import an Excel file with products or whatever other information you have and generate a PDF based on the information in that Excel
merge multiple PDFs to form a final PDF with all the files. So this is how you do it. Hope that this use case made sense to you and that's useful to you, and looking forward to see what you build with this.